Everybody, hello. How y'all doing? Tasha checking in with another video, and this is going to be none other than my weekly review of my 600-pound life, season 13, episode 6, Deshaun's Journey. If it's your first time joining me, go ahead and like this video, comment in the comment section, excuse me, and most importantly, subscribe to the Redefine Me channel. We are growing over here because we have a good, great time over here. All right, this dude got on my last whole nerve, okay? We about to get into it, man, because this episode, whenever I watch this show, y'all, I've been watching my 600-pound life for a minute, and I'm always rooting for the people, for real talk. I don't be watching it trying to be messy and all of that. I be rooting for the people. I really do, because I want to see them thrive. I want to see them succeed. I want all of that for them. But this particular dude, he was a waste of time and a waste of space, okay? So let's get into it. Excuse me, my throat a little dry. Let me get some water. YouTube probably still letting y'all know I'm on. It's okay. Let me move my tripod a little bit. All right, y'all. Let's get into this. Let's get into this review, because this was a mess. This was a whole mess. So his name is Deshaun. This is Deshaun's story, okay? He's from Omaha, Nebraska. He's 28 years old. His weight is unknown, okay? Whenever they say weight unknown before they show the person, I'm like, oh my goodness, this person is going to be bigger than normal, okay? But we get to him. He up in the morning, right? The cameraman on my 600-pound life ain't gonna be crazy, because I think they be getting down on the floor to shoot upward so that the person could look even bigger, because angles matter, okay? But the cameraman, his angle was just ridiculous, because he was just like down a little bit, and then we were getting a crotch angle, and I was just like, ugh. His legs is dark in the middle, dark on the sides. He's sitting there like he is just done with life. Like he ain't comb his hair. He don't look like his breath smell good. It was a whole bunch of stuff going on with Deshaun, okay? So he tells us that he lives with his mom. He has two sisters and one brother, but we only met one sister on this episode. I guess the other siblings was like, I'm not about to get on this show and embarrass myself, because I know how my brother is, okay? So the sister that we met, her name is Diamond. Diamond, sweet girl, okay? Very sweet. You can tell she loves her brother, because she was up here saying that she helps him, and so he gets up and he gets ready to wash himself, okay? I heard through the grapevine that when they're naked on my 600-pound life, they get extra money, right? And so I don't know why it is that they open up, gotta wash up, and we gotta see that. Like, y'all don't wash at night or whatever. I don't get it. However, he is up here getting his bath on, right? So he has to sit on the toilet to wash up. He has to take like we call it hoe bath, okay? When you don't get all the way in the shower. So he sits up here, he washing up and stuff. And so then the sister, he says, calls her, Diamond, I need your help. She comes up in there, she's washing all up in his folds and in the legs and stuff. She said it's a little embarrassing and awkward because it's her big brother, right? However, she says she loves him and she's going to help him, okay? Diamond then says, are you ready to eat? And she goes, and he says, yes, of course. And he goes into the kitchen, right? And she is about to fix his food. What's up, Mike? Welcome to the live. So Diamond go in the kitchen to fix his food, right? Hey. And Diamond, the person that fix the food, always fixes a extreme amount of food. Let me tell you something. If you are over 600 pounds and I'm the one fixing your food, it's on me to make sure that you eat properly at a certain point, right? Now, when I leave the house, if you order DoorDash and all them other things, then baby, that's on you. But if I'm fixing your food, I'm fixing your tail. You're going to get egg whites, some fruit, and a little bit of meat. Mike says she did not see me. Wait, she did not see me. Oh, you talking about me? Yeah, I see you, Mike. So, thank you for the like. Thank you for the love, y'all. Go ahead and like up this video and subscribe to the Redefine Me channel. So, She makes the food and everything. Then we see the mom come into the room. What's up, Maria? Is that Maria? Lovers. If I don't say your name right, my bad. My ring light is like right here in my face. Thank you, Mike, for the compliment. So the mom comes in the room, right? The mom is just as big as he is, child. I said it need to be a 2-for-1 special on this episode. Dr. Nell need to help both of them lose weight because the mom came in with the walker. My name is Maria. Okay, Maria, welcome to the live. She comes in with the walker, right? And she's big. She got oxygen tank thing up her nose and everything. And I was just like, child, what is going on? So the mom comes up in there and the mom says that he is spoiled, that she spoiled him growing up and all of this. And you could tell because, thank you, Maria, and you can tell that he was spoiled. He was very much a mama's boy. He made a lot of excuses. I mean, the way that he was acting was not very becoming of a man, okay? So the mom says he was spoiled. She spoiled him. The dad wasn't around, okay? The dad ended up getting locked up when he was 4 years old, and he went away to jail, okay? So now we're looking at a situation where he's raised by a single mother, okay? Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you so much for subscribing. He's raised by a single mother. We see that going on, okay? And not saying that single mothers raising a child is a bad thing. However, sometimes, and I've been seeing this lately, when single mothers raise sons and they have no male presence in their life, no father figures, they end up turning to, for lack of better words, a punk. You know what I'm saying? And so, that is exactly what he turned into, okay? We also learned that Maria's child, I'm thinking about you, Maria. We also learned that Deshaun's mom ended up marrying and getting a stepdad or being in some type of situation. Thank you. Being in some type of situation with another man. He tells us that the other man was abusive. He didn't like the other man. And he also lets us know that his mom did drugs. So a lot of the reasons behind the fact that he's the way that he is primarily because the mom spoiled him and the mom probably didn't raise him properly. Her herself was probably on drugs and everything like that. Okay? So fast forward, Deshaun says that he did a lot of things growing up. He was robbing people, breaking into stores, things like that. He ended up getting into juvenile detention center, and he went into a group home at the age of 12. Okay, so the age of 12, he was sent out of the house. Maybe the mom couldn't deal with him anymore. He was doing a lot. And he went to the group home, okay? At the group home, he says he still went to school, but kids made fun of him, so he started smoking weed. Weed helped him calm down. He found safety in the weed, and he also was snacking with the weed, okay? Because we all know if you smoke weed, you're going to get the munchies and you're going to want to eat, okay? So I don't know why anyone that is already big will pick up a weed habit anyway, because that's what's going to happen. So he says at 18 years old, he was 500 pounds, okay? I'm doing a review for my 600-pound life. This is a show that comes on TLC Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the U.S., okay? Okay, what's up, Yuli? No, because I smoke and exercise. Yuli says, weed don't make everybody. Well, I mean, for people who are already fat, like big, they up here smoking weed. That's going to end up causing them to have the munchies, which in turn is not good for their health, which is what was up with this dude. Okay, so he lets us also know between the ages of 15, I think it was 15 years old, he ended up getting shot. Okay, he said he was in his house with his family. They was vibing, chilling, and all of a sudden they heard gunshots outside, and the bullet ended up coming through the house and went through his hand. Try, smoke, and walk, and drink water. Right, okay? So you got to be active if you're going to participate in that activity, right? Y'all. Hold on, y'all. This daggone. Sorry about that, y'all. Hold on one second. My background was acting up a little bit. My bad. So, So he lets us know he got shot in his hands when he was 15 years old. Okay, so he said after that it allowed him to get PTSD, and so he was afraid to go out of the house. He didn't want to go out of the house. Because of that, he started eating more, he started gaining weight and everything, and this is why he's at the state that he's in. Okay, so fast forward, after he finished telling us his whole bio, 2 hours later, he's complaining about his shoes. His mom is in his room and he's like, these shoes are too small, I can't put my feet in these shoes. And he's being real nasty to his mom, acting like a daggone spoiled brat. Okay, so the mom was just like, okay, fine, do you want to put on these shoes or go to the store or not? He says, I can't fit the shoes. Y'all already know that they got to do their grand grocery store run when they open up, right? So no, child, that was not the weed. That was, child, how you ain't seek therapy with it. Yeah, he didn't seek therapy with the PTSD. And I think it did happen because of the gunshots. But I also think on this episode, he made a lot of excuses. And so the mom says, fine, you ain't going to the store. He says, just send Diamond, okay? Diamond is taking care of really the whole household, the mom and him, because the mom is one Reese's Pieces away from being where he's at, okay? And I really felt sorry for Diamond a little bit, because you can tell she's young and she loves her family, so she is just up there trying to do what appeases them, because she don't want nobody to yell at her and all this stuff like that. So Diamond ends up going to the grocery store. She get in the van, she goes to the grocery store, she FaceTimes Deshaun and she's asking him what it is he wants. Y'all already know when they go to this grocery store run, they don't make the best choices. Give me the cookies, give me the pies, give me some Kool-Aid packets, give me all this other stuff that they really do not need, okay? So he's like, can you also stop and get dinner? Now, after she left the grocery store, you can't go home and cook. No, stop and get me some dinner. So she stops by McDonald's, okay? And when she stops by McDonald's, she gets like 3 bags of food. And when she gets back to the house, she gives him the bags of food. And he's sitting there with this depressed look on his face, eating up the McDonald's food and everything. And I'm just like, this is just ridiculous, okay? He said he has not left the house in 3 years, y'all. 3 years. Could you imagine staying in one room in your house for 3 years? That is, I would be depressed too if that was the case, right? He can have cookies, make them natural instead of McDonald's go-to salads. Yeah, it's the choices you make. It is very much the choices, okay? But when you are mentally unstable with food and you have an addiction, it is hard to make those choices. And this is why I started watching this show. And I love this show because not only do they focus on the weight loss portion of it, but they try to work the people into going into psychotherapy. When I was in college, I took a class on psychotherapy, and it is very beneficial because you have to tackle the mind if you have an addiction. If you can't tackle the mind and get it together up here, nothing else is going to work. And I think that's what happened with him on this episode. So we meet his caregiver, because the whole time I'm thinking that Diamond was his caregiver. No, we meet another woman. She comes over to the house. It's the caregiver. This caregiver comes over Monday through Friday. So she says that she is there to push him and give him the extra motivation. So the caregiver comes over. She said she is off for 2 days, but she said by the time she get back to the house, boy, that house is full of fast food bags and stuff, snacks and all type of stuff, okay? So y'all know Deshaun can barely walk. So who gets the stuff for him? Diamond. Who gets the stuff for him? His mom, okay? So the family is a big enabler to him and really was a part of the downfall of this whole situation. I have an addiction to ice cream since what I do instead of dairy use sorbet, less calories. Yeah, I like sorbet too. Yeah, I like that too. So it's ways that you can switch up the mix so that you don't gain all them calories, okay? So she's there. She says, you want breakfast. She fixes him breakfast. Now, when she fixed him breakfast, it was a sizable portion. It still was a little, child, my background, y'all, forgive me. Forgive me. I'm going to get this background together, but I'm just going to take it off the wall. Because it used to, when I was in my other place, and I don't know what's up with these walls, but when I was in my other place, all I used was some tape to tack it up, and it would stay up. But the daggone thing at this point, it just won't stay up. So bear with me. My background will be better very, very soon. I'm working on it. So anyway, y'all, let's move on. Let's move forward. And I debated on whether I was going to put it up or not, but you know, whatever. Distractions, distractions. Okay, so move on. She fixed him the breakfast. It was a nice size portion for him. And that's what I have on the back of it, double-sided tape, and it's not working. So I don't know if it's because of the type of paint that they use in this particular unit or whatever it is. But when I had it up before, I didn't even use double-sided tape. I used the regular tape, and it stayed up in that place that I was at for a while, for a long time, with no issue. But anyway, y'all, let's not get distracted. Let's stay on track. So this day after he eats breakfast that his caregiver brought him, he has a meeting with Dr. Now. So we're finally going to get Dr. Now, right? So Dr. Now gets on the phone with him and he's like, hey, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. He's meeting Deshaun for the first time. So Deshaun, he says, you're almost 700 pounds. And he says, yes. I said, goodness gracious, almost 700 pounds. I always want to know, like, at what point did you say, this is ridiculous? I need to do something about my weight. Like 700 pounds? How do you let yourself get to that point? So anyway, he says, you're almost 700 pounds. Dr. Now says, what are you eating? And he tells him he's eating fast food and all this other stuff, right? He says, do you have a goal or friends and things of that nature? You know, what's up? You have these things going on. I have wondered about that. Yeah, you just let yourself get to that point. So he says that, no, he don't have no friends. No, he don't have no goal. He was very short and rude with Dr. Now. When I tell y'all, this dude made me want to reach through the screen and slap him and punch him in the forehead. Now, I don't condone violence on this channel, obviously, but he got on my last nerve. He was a horrible individual. He had a I don't give an attitude when he was talking to Dr. Now, as if Dr. Now was wasting his time, as if he wasn't the one that was sitting up here seeking some type of help, as if he wasn't the one that was the issue, right? So, Mike says, hold on, I see something. It looks like a shadow, I don't know. It's my shadow. It's my shadow, Mike, calm down. I don't know what. So he had the attitude just like I don't give a type of attitude, right? And I was just like, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. All right, Mike. You probably could still see me from the outside, but I had to get you out of here. I love doing YouTube, right, y'all? And this is a whole sidebar. I love doing YouTube. I don't understand my algorithm. I really don't. I be trying to have people on my lives that are good people, that are sane people, people that are going to laugh, love, like, be, you know, just enjoy reviews that I do, talk back, I talk to them. I be trying to have all of that. But for the life of me, I do not understand why I always get people on this live. And a part of me just wants to almost stop doing lives. Like, a part of me just wants to do videos and just post them and get the reaction from that. But I do lives because I like interacting with people because I love people. I do lives because they post quicker to YouTube and I'm able to do what I need to do. I do lives for those various reasons because I love them. But for the life of me, every time I go live, I always get this type of energy. And I don't know what it is. So maybe I need to start praying before I go live. I don't know. But if you come on my live, and this is a total sidebar because we're reviewing my 600-pound life. If you come on my live, please be respectful. Please don't be weird. If you're going to come on here, just be a regular person. We are regular smuggler people over here. We don't have all of no issues. I'm a great person, pleasant person. There's nothing running in the background, you know. There's nothing up on my face and all this stuff. I mean, I'm a real person, not an AI. Like, even to have to do this disclaimer is just ridiculous in the middle of my review. Yeah, just be nice, be cool, be cool. And I don't want to jump on or foreigners, right? I really, really don't. But it's a lot of people that be from other countries. And I'm just kind of like, what is up? Like, just if you want to vibe out, if you want to be here, just sit, be here, enjoy it, and then go on about your business. But for the life of me, I don't understand it. And I be watching other YouTubers' lives, and they don't have this issue. If they do have somebody in there, that person leaves quickly. Other than that, they have real life human beings that actually talk back to them. And I'm just kind of like, what is up with my page? What is it about me that brings all the crazies to the front? I don't know. But anyway, y'all, let me center myself. Let me get back to what I was saying. All right. Okay. So Dr. Nail is asking him, does he have any friends? What's going on? He's saying that, he don't have no friends. He don't have no goals. Basically, he don't have nothing in life that brings him any motivation or joy, right? And so Dr. Nail is like, Dr. Nail said to us that it's going to be difficult to work with this individual. Dr. Nail knew from the break, okay, that it was going to be difficult to work with Deshaun. I also knew that as well, right? I was like, Deshaun is going to be a whole problem, okay? And I understood what Dr. Nail meant because he was sitting there like, yeah, okay, I got family. Yes. He was giving one-word answers. He was acting like Dr. Nail was bothering him. So we get into his journey, right? Month number 1, Deshaun cousin comes over to drop off some fast food. She drops it off and then she leaves back out the house. And this is the problem. The enablers in the people's lives. Stop enabling these people. They get the stuff because you all cater to them. And Deshaun had it best than any other person I have seen in a while with the enabling. The mom spoils him. He does not work. So he has a place to live. He has food that he eats. He has a cell phone, video games. Like Deshaun had it on Easy Street because his mom is taking care of him. He said he lives with his mom. But correct me if I'm wrong, if y'all watched the episode. It seemed like there was only one bedroom. And then when they went in the living room, it was an air mattress or bed on the floor. So I'm trying to figure out, do the moms sleep on the floor in the living room while this dude is in the room on the bed? You got me messed up. Like, what, and you not even paying nothing? Child, I was just like, you know what? That is really wild and crazy, okay? So she brings the food. She has to leave the door unlocked for him because he doesn't get up out of the bed. He has low mobility or no mobility, right? And so the nutritionist is coming over that Dr. Nail has set up. And so the nutritionist comes in the door and he yells, come on back, I'm back here in the back, right? So she comes in the door, she comes back, she starts talking to him. She asks him, what is it that you eat? What is it that you drink? He had the audacity to say that he drinks mostly water. But it's funny because the cameraman zoomed into the McDonald's shake that he had on the counter. And the lady was like, well, what's that? And I just thought that was funny because the cameramans on these shows be real petty, right? And so he says, yeah, well, I have a shake. I drink mostly water. Then it turned into mostly water, right? Okay. He looked like he didn't care about nothing the nutritionist was saying. He was just like, okay. She was taking food from his freezer and refrigerator to show him the calorie count on it. How that if you eat a whole piece of something, that's more calories. You need to eat half of that to cut down on your calories, really putting you in a caloric deficit so that you could lose the weight, okay? We all know that, but maybe it was new for Deshaun, okay? So then Dr. Nail also has set him up with a physical therapist. So the physical therapist's name is Sarah. She comes to the house to work on the mobility after the nutritionist left, okay? So after the nutritionist left, he got Dr. Nail's book, Fast Forward, and Diamond starts to prepare the dinner, okay, for the mom and him. Again, Diamond is the full-time caregiver. So Diamond cooks some baked chicken and asparagus. Now, Diamond cooked that daggone asparagus too long because I love asparagus. And if you're going to do asparagus right, it's a crunchy technique with asparagus. You have to bite into it almost like a chip. It should be like a little crunchy. If it's too stringy, you cooked it too long. And that's what she did. So they sitting there, the mom and him, having a baked chicken and asparagus. I saw the sauce, the ketchup and barbecue sauce on the side, which is a problem. If you're going to eat healthy, you got to strip away them sauces too. You cannot have sauce on everything because some of them sauces will add on calories. Now, if you're going to have a sauce, sauce, have a low-fat sauce, low something sauce, low sodium sauce, or something like that. But I doubt they had that, okay? So the mom says the asparagus was seasoned good. Deshaun says he didn't like the asparagus, yada, yada, yada. Month 3 rolls around, okay? Dr. Now says, I need to talk to this nurse. I need to talk to this nurse that comes over to his house and takes care of him. So let me get her on the phone. So he calls the nurse, right, that meets Monday through Friday with him, and he asks her some questions. Now, the nurse is only 24 years old, and Deshaun is 28. So the nurse said it's like taking care of her big brother. So she gets on the phone with Dr. Now, and Dr. Now is like, you know, I know that you take care of him, so what happens there? Like, how does the food happen and all of that? Do you prepare his meals? Right away, y'all, the nurse started snitching. The nurse was like, okay, first of all, she says, because I take notes. Whenever I'm looking to the side, I take notes. So the nurse said, I help him Monday through Friday. She says, but his family is enabling him, not me. She was just like, don't look at me, Dr. Nail. I'm not the enabler. It is the family. She says that she wants to help him by sticking to the plan that Dr. Nail has for him. So she says, Dr. Nail, I will stick to the eating plan that you have, but I'm not the enabler. When I'm not there, they order him fast food and things like that. So Dr. Nail says, well, you are the nurse, so you do take a part in enabling him as well because you prepare some of these meals and stuff. And so she had to admit that she does prepare some of the meals and stuff too. So he has a bunch of enablers around. Okay, bam, Dr. Nail spoke to her. Month 4 comes around. The mom says she's going to be in the room with him to be on the call with Dr. Nail. Okay, so the mom's sitting there in her walker, and they get the laptop, and Dr. Nail calls in. Okay, Dr. Nail says, hold on, y'all, I'm sorry. So Dr. Now calls in. He asks what's going on with him. He says that you haven't been doing PT. What's going on? The physical therapist said you haven't been active or participating. You only did it a few times. What's going on? And he's just giving Dr. Now one-word answers. I mean, I don't know. I try. I don't understand, blah, blah, blah. The mom interjects and says, Dr. Now, let me cut him off because he's not being honest with you. Let me tell you the real deal and what's going on. Dr. Now says that he hasn't changed. I mean, the mom tells Dr. Nail he hasn't changed anything. He only goes from the bed to the bathroom, from the bathroom to the bed. He don't do no physical activity. He don't eat the stuff that he's supposed to eat. And then all of a sudden, Deshaun gets mad. He's like, I don't care. I don't care what y'all talking about and blah, blah, blah. The mom is like, you're the one that put yourself in this situation. Why are you getting mad with us? We're trying to help you. Dr. Nail was sitting on the screen. He was like, I was just like, Dr. Nail, let them have their moment. So he argued with the mom and everything. And Dr. Nail says, I mean, he was trying to tell the mom that it's your fault that he's kind of in this position too because you are a huge enabler. Because Dr. Nail was telling her, she says, I'm going to talk to you, Dr. Nail, forget what he's talking about. Because he lays back on the bed with his belly showing, gets on his phone like he don't care. Who does this with an appointment of a bariatric surgeon that is trying to help you on this nationally syndicated show, okay? You said you want to help something got to change, but then you sit up here and don't want to do nothing and have an attitude with everybody. That's why you ain't got no friends, no goals, no hopes or dreams, because you were just giving up on life. It's just like he's sitting in that room just waiting to die. So Dr. Now says to the mom, well, he gets free food, living and games and cell phones. So, of course, he doesn't have a reason to want to change because he gets all of this stuff for free. Okay, Dr. Now says, you know what, I'm going to set you up with some psychotherapy, okay? And he says, hopefully that'll help you, get some motivational, what have you. So in calls Dr. Paradise after that. Y'all know that is the therapist on this show, okay? So in calls Dr. Paradise, and Dr. Paradise asks about his dad. He tells him about his dad being in jail. He asks about his childhood, stepdad. He says his stepdad was abusive. He lets Dr. Paradise know he has PTSD from being shot. All of these things, right? And so he says he doesn't feel like going outside because he doesn't trust outside. He doesn't feel like it's a safe place. But Dr. Paradise brought up a good point. How is it that you don't feel safe going outside when you got shot in your house? So if you got shot, bullets flying, and it came into your house, how do you feel safer inside your house? If anything, anything, I would have PTSD from being in the house because it actually happened in the house. But he tells Dr. Now that it was a different area, that it was a more ghetto hood area. But when the cameraman pans outside, it looks to me like they still live in the hood, okay? So Dr. Paradise says that he isn't confident that he will do any of the homework that he gives him if he gives him homework. I said, Dad, Dr. Paradise ain't never said that to nobody, that he don't feel confident that they're going to actually do it. But the way that Deshaun was behaving, Deshaun was sitting back. He seemed very annoyed. He was just all over the place, right? And so Deshaun said, if you give me something to do, I will do it or whatever. So Dr. Paradise said, well, I want you to get up out of that room, at least make it to the living room, go out into the living room. He says, go out onto the patio. He says, sit down and have dinner with your mom. And these were the things that he wanted him to do. So the cousin comes in after the video call and says, how was your therapy? He says he was annoyed and irritated. And I'm just like, why are you always annoyed or irritated? One thing you can say, Dr. Paradise is very kind and nice to these individuals when he's doing therapy with them. So the fact that they get so annoyed and irritated just mind boggles me. Like, I don't understand that. So month 5 rolls around. We see him trying to do a little of these little foot exercises with these bands and stuff. And I'm just like, child, he did them exercises for like 3 seconds, okay? If he think at 700 pounds that 3 seconds of exercise is going to work, you were sadly mistaken, sir. It's not. So then he gets up off the bed and he goes out onto the balcony. Soon as he opened the balcony, I guess they got a cat. That cat said, pew, and ran in the house. The cat was probably like, what the heck are you doing? You don't never come out here. So he goes out on the balcony and he sits outside. The cousin sees him downstairs and she's like, oh, okay, you outside? He calls his mom and everything. The mom is saying she's proud of him for making his way to the balcony and going outside, right? He tells us, y'all, that this is the first time that he has been outside in 2 years. It's been 2 years since he has been outside. That is depressing to even hear in itself, okay? So month 6 rolls around. He actually did the therapy homework that Dr. Paradise had gave him. Dr. Paradise is shocked. Then we get to month 7. Dr. Nail sent a medical transport to the house to pick him up so that we could actually get his weight. Because at this point, 7 months in, he has not been weighed in. He hasn't done anything Dr. Nail suggested as far as the exercise and the book and all of that. He's just been a big old waste of time. You would think by month 7, if you followed the 1,200 calorie diet that Dr. Nail has given, he would have lost some weight. And sometimes you don't even have to go physically into a clinic to get weighed to tell that you have lost weight. But this dude was a waste of space and time. So he wasn't trying to do no type of work. So the transport gets there, right? He goes into the house and says, hey, Deshaun, I'm here to pick you up, take you to the clinic. Deshaun is up there playing video games like the dude is interrupting him. He says, yeah, I'm not going. And I was like, what in the world? He says, well, why you not going? He said, because I don't have no shoes that fit. He says that he has not had shoes that has fit him in 2 years. I said, that is wild to me. So you can't put on those slides. I watch my 600-pound life all the time. Sometimes these people be putting on some slide-ins and they just be going to Dr. Now because that's what they could fit. It is what it is. So he says, well, when you going to have your shoes? He's talking some maybe next week. I don't know, whenever I get them. So even the transport dude is trying to encourage him to go to his appointment. He was like, we can go take you and you can come back and do what you do or whatever. Nothing worked. Deshaun did not go. I was like, you know what? That's ridiculous. Dr. Nail then calls him on the telephone, right? Because Dr. Nail do be trying to keep up with these people and help them. So Dr. Nail called him on the phone, and Dr. Nail is trying to tell him, so when you think you're going to get your shoes, I'll schedule you for next week to come in to get weighed, yada, yada, yada. When he gets off the phone with Dr. Nail, we see him start crying. And I'm just like, why are you crying? What's going on? He says that Dr. Nail is a hypocrite because he told him that he didn't want to work with him anymore. Now, I watched the whole episode. I did not see a point in time where Dr. Nail said he did not want to work with him. Dr. Nail will give these people 3, 4, 5 chances, okay? Because I believe he really wants these people to get the help that they need. He doesn't want anybody to die. Like, if he didn't care, he would not call you, check in on you, and really want to, help you out. So he's crying because he's saying he's a hypocrite and he don't really want to help him and all of this. Fast forward, we get to month number 10, okay? And back up, before that, he actually did come out of the room, like I said, y'all. He went on the balcony. He did have dinner with his mom. The daggone cousin had made them some food. It looked like she made some baked spaghetti. The cheese was it was a lot of cheese. A lot of cheese. So she made this spaghetti meal for them and some salad and some bread stuff that he probably shouldn't have had. It was a lot of cheese in that stuff. And so him and his mom sat there and they ate for a minute and everything. And then that was the end of that. So fast forward for month 10. Okay. Dr. Now says, we see Dr. Now. He comes on the screen and he says that Deshaun has blocked him, child. I said, Lord, today. Now, they ain't supposed to go through this process for a full-on year. We get to month 10. Dr. Now said Deshaun has blocked him and Dr. Paradise. I said, well, dang, he done blocked the whole staff. He said he fired his nurse. The nurse that Dr. Now had spoke with that said she was going to help him get his meals on track Monday through Friday. He fired her. Probably because she was sticking to the 1,200 calorie diet and he was like, he don't want that crap, right? So he fired the nurse. Dr. Now said his mom isn't even answering the phone. He tried to call his mom. So this is why I say his mom is a problem too. And I ain't trying to talk about nobody's mom, but we got to call a thing a thing. If you sit up here and spoil this boy, he ate whatever he wanted out of her mouth, not mine. When he was younger, you was on drugs, you was in an abusive relationship, you was doing all this stuff instead of focusing on your child and his well-being. And now fast forward to 28 years old, now you up here mad at him because he won't get no motivation and he don't want to get his life together. It's because of you, mom. That's why being a parent is so important. Now I understand at a certain point you can't always blame the parent because you have to grow up and take accountability for your own life, but the foundation has to start somewhere, okay? It has to start somewhere. So Dr. Now tells us that he feels that the family is getting paid to be his caregiver. Now that happens a lot. We have seen that family members end up enrolling in government assistance program where they can take care of a loved one that is disabled, because all of them don't be disabled. They just be saying that they are, and they can get paid for taking care of that said family member. So Dr. Nail says he believes that's what's going on with this family. They're getting paid. So everyone is benefiting off of him being overweight. He said that the family really doesn't care about him getting better because if they did, they would not continue to be enablers and they would motivate him to be better. But he made a good point. If the family's getting paid to be his caregiver and they don't care about his well-being because they're getting paid, they're not going to want him to change. He's also getting food stamps, and he's probably on the mom and him is probably on Section 8. They're probably getting all of these benefits and stuff. And so why would he want to change? And this is why I feel like our government really do need to look into people who are on these government funded programs. You should not be on food stamps, Section 8, getting money from the government, all of these other things for your whole entire life. Government assistance should have a time period. It shouldn't be a life sentence. But unfortunately, a lot of people have been on these government assistance programs for life. And this is what's going on with Deshaun. I believe they get in the government assistance. His family is getting money for him being overweight. And so they don't want to help him change. So the unfortunate thing is that on month 10, Deshaun's journey ended. We didn't see any progress. We didn't know what his actual weight was. We didn't see nothing. Dr. Nail was just over it. He was like, if I give you all the tools, I'm setting you up with a nutritionist, with a physical therapist, with a psychotherapist, and I'm getting you what you need to be able to have weight loss surgery, and you're not taking advantage of it, what is Dr. Nail supposed to do? He's like, I've done all I can do, and I agree with Dr. Nail. So Deshaun's journey ended at month number 10. I don't know any updates of him yet. As far as I know, he didn't lose any weight. He didn't and he didn't go to any weigh-ins. He definitely never made it to Houston. He is unmotivated, depressed. He makes excuses. He's spoiled. He's just a nasty individual, in my opinion. And it has a lot to do with the fact he blaming it on his weight, but he made a comment and said that he does what he wants to do when he wants to do it, and he don't like to be pushed. And that is the big problem. No one is pushing him. No one is holding him accountable. Not his mom, not his sister. We don't know about his other siblings because we didn't see him. Not his cousin, nobody. And the one person that was holding him accountable, his nurse, to a certain extent, he fired her. So, you know, I hope that Deshaun gets himself together. I don't want to give y'all an update on Deshaun and we find out that he has passed on or whatever happened because he didn't want to get his weight under control. But yeah, this episode was frustrating because I honestly root for these people when I watch this show for them to get a healthier lifestyle. And some of them, sadly, are very disappointed. And Deshaun was one of them. He was the worst one this season yet because he was just, he made all type of excuses. And his family was just horrible. Just enablers. Just enablers. So anyway, y'all, that's my review for my 600-pound life. If you have not done so already, go ahead and like this video, comment in the comment section, replay watchers, what you thought about this episode if you watched it. And if you vibe with me, if you like this type of content and other content I do on my channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you've been on the outside watching me for a minute and you don't know if you want to subscribe, listen, just subscribe. Just subscribe and vibe out with me. See some of the other stuff that I post. And if it resonates with you, stay subscribed. Be a part of the family, y'all. I'm telling y'all, we have a good time over here and we growing over here, okay? I will be live again on this Sunday. I am going to start a session on Sunday called Storytime Sundays. Now, normally on Sunday, I do my review for Love After Lockup. However, Love After Lockup doesn't start until March. So until Love After Lockup comes back, I'm going to drop story times on Sundays. And so if you like story times, then go ahead and join me on Sunday. I will come out and do it at 6 p.m. on that day, okay? I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in with me until we meet again. Bye.